We are Neon Rabbit とプレゼンツ。テレビ番組ザ・ラビットとホール。
Welcome to the Seinfeld version of We Are Neon Rabbit.
The Rabbit
This
Hole!
is going to be the show about nothing.
That's a great way to start the show. It is a show about nothing today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you like Seinfeld?
Yeah, I watched that show a lot when I was a kid anyways.
I was a big fan of it growing up, and especially like when the last episode came out. Do you remember the very last episode where it just like recapped like a freaking it was like an event in my household, man.
It was an event everywhere. They like announced it. I mean, you knew it was the last episode and it was coming.
Yeah.
And I mean that show was on TV every day.
It was.
Yeah.
It still is.
It should be. It was a good show. I don't find Larry David to be very funny, but he was one of the producers or writers for that show, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know, he's got his own show now, and I see clips of it. I don't find it to be funny.
Is that the Curb Your Enthusiasm guy?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Never really cared for that show. I know it's a huge hit, and maybe I'm just not getting the humor, but yeah, I never really connected with that show.
Yeah, but Jerry Seinfeld, he that's a funny guy. And I got to say, whoever it was, I forget Kramer's name, but the actor who played Kramer, but Kramer really made that show.
Michael Richards, yeah. He really did make that show. He was a great stand-up comedian. He
got in trouble.
He got a little hot water. Yeah.
But you were talking about the last episode.
Yeah.
And I do remember that being pretty funny. Didn't they all end up like going to jail at the end?
Yeah, because they refused to be good Samaritans. I remember that. I believe it was somebody who was either getting carjacked or held up or something.
But they weren't in New York, right? They went
went somewhere else, and that's why they got
because they were just New Yorkers
just
watching, because that's what New Yorkers do.
Yeah.
From what I'm told. I don't know.
Don't engage. Just sit and stare and hope something good happens to that person, like a cop or somebody's going to see him.
Yeah.
Oh,
anyways, good show.
It was a good show.
Back in the day when we had good shows, I don't know. There's nothing that exists like that anymore. That's like so culturally relevant, like Seinfeld, or we've talked about Friends before. The Friends show was majorly culturally relevant when it was on. And do you know anything like that now that like is majorly culturally relevant that like brings everybody together in a way?
The only thing that does that in my house is Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers, good one. Yeah.
It's a really it's funny, but it's also wholesome. It's got your family values, it's got your life lessons, but at the same time, it's ridiculously funny. And the characters are so oddly drawn. I love the way that they look, because there's really nothing attractive about any of the people in Bob's Burgers, even the ones who are portrayed as attractive. But yeah, it's just a great show.
Yeah, maybe it's just the circles that I run in, but like those are the memorable, bigger, culturally relevant. I've said that like 20 times now.
It's okay.
Shows, but like the animated ones, because I'm thinking South Park.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Rick and Morty.
Not so much for me, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty for me. I've tried to watch some of the newer episodes, and I don't know. It's not as funny to me as it used to be.
You mean like now that Justin Ryland's gone?
Not even that. It was even before all that controversy. For me, it just, I don't know. It started out really funny and really irreverent, and then it just kind of, I don't know. Something about it just kind of clicked off for me. I guess I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I don't understand the youth and their young ways of music and television. Like you asked me, like, give me 10 pop stars. I couldn't do it right now.
Exist today?
Right now, couldn't do it.
I think I could name a few, but then when it comes down to it, like I don't actually know any of their material.
Exactly. And I
just know their name.
That's a sign. It's the sign, man. I'm accepting it. I'm accepting it more and more each day. My wife still listens to the Top 40 radio, and these songs come on, and I'm just like, turn the fucking shit off. I can't stand it. And my wife goes, so what do you want to listen to? The same 20 songs that are on your phone? I'm like, yeah, because those are good songs. And she goes, says who? And I'm like, me.
Right. Well, I am going to say just because something's popular does not in any way make it good.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I agree with you there.
Yeah, that's the majority of, in my mind, today's popular music. It's just what's being sold, so it's what's being bought. It's not necessarily being bought because it's good. Half the stuff I'm like, who asked for this? We've talked about Marvel movies and TV shows and commercials, and it's like, who's asking for this?
I have no idea. It's just kind of something that happened.
Yeah.
It's like that we didn't ask for it, but it was given to us.
Right. I feel like that's kind of how the world's been structured, though, is like you're sold what they want to sell you, and then you buy it. Like I don't know. It's hard to explain, I guess, but
It's not that hard. I understand what you're saying. I get you.
yeah.
They want to sell you something, and they're going to push it on you until you buy it.
Yeah. Which, hey, I've bought something recently, which I would say was completely organic when it was pushed on me, but it was pushed on me by my peers. And as it comes out, it's genuinely amazing, and I love it. So if you guys haven't heard, Helldivers 2 has been recently released, and it's taken the world by storm, and it's definitely taken my world by storm. It's a science fiction team-based shooter. It's available on the PlayStation 5, 4, I believe, as well, and PCs. No Xboxes. So,
Poor Xbox.
I mean, I dived into that head first. It's right up my alley. It's a super science fiction mesh of like Starship Troopers, which is a great movie that we should review at some point in
You
time.
definitely do the first one at least.
Yeah. I mean, there's elements of Aliens in there, and Terminator 2, or Terminator, but and Warhammer 40K, and so I'm just loving it. And it's all based around an incredibly fascist government that it's not telling you it's openly fascist because it's propagandic, basically just like you've seen in the Starship Troopers movie.
Right.
One thing that I thought was funny is I've seen some online arguments where some people are comparing this government to the left and some people are comparing it to the right, and which I find to be funny. You can do that. You can find elements of, the fascist part of both of those sides.
Sure.
In this, but my interpretation is it's just what a government is. This is what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's propaganda. It's fascism. Why they're selling you like some version of freedom and democracy and liberty, and none of it's true. It's all BS. But hey,
you're fighting for it anyway.
I'm gonna fight for it anyways, man.
Kill the bugs
for freedom and democracy. Kill the bugs. That's my jam too. Is killing the bugs. I have not touched the robots yet because they're badass and they're gonna kick my butt. But.
All right, so that's a Rabbitt recommendation for Helldivers 2.
Absolutely, and it's super cool. It's actually a cheap game. It's about $40.
Mm-hmm.
So in like what we're used to with like big mainstream AAA games, it's very cheap and affordable. They don't do a lot of those $70 games too. Like you buy them and they're not done, and they expect you to pay extra money within the game to get the full game experience. And this game is not like that at all. Like there is an element where you can pay for certain things, but at the same time you can unlock everything by just playing the game.
That's cool.
So yeah, it's not the pay for play. Like I mentioned the political thing. This game is trying to like stay out of that completely. Like it's just the game. There's no political one-sidedness trying to be sold to you whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they're trying to keep it out completely.
Just kill the bugs and kill the robots.
Yes, yeah, and do it for Super Earth and liberty and justice and freedom and all that good stuff.
That's a lot of text messages what you been doing? Liberty and freedom, brother. Liberty and freedom. That's what I've been doing. What have you been doing? Been editing and working.
So I'll announce that too. I'm on this game and I'm going to be there for a while. So if there's anybody out there who's playing Helldivers 2, get a hold of me, and I'd love to kill some bugs and fight for some democracy and freedom.
Leave a comment below if you want to get a hold of JB on the old Helldivers. That'd be cool.
Super cool. You too have recently made a new purchase of a video game that's came out, and I think it's been like long awaited.
Yeah, I couldn't get Helldivers 2 because I couldn't afford the PlayStation Plus because I was poor. But I did manage to talk my loving wife into letting me purchase Contra Operation Galuga. And I saw the trailer for this drop, and it's everything that you want in a Contra game. The graphics are 100% upgraded from what you remember from Nintendo. I mean, even the PlayStation 1 version, the Contra Adventures, I thought that was pretty good looking for its time, but this is just, it's what you expect from a PlayStation 5. All the guns are there, all the enemies are there. You have a few extra options as far as like you can do double jumps now and like a dash attack, and they got the homing missiles, and yeah, you can choose who you want to be. And like I was telling you, I got to like level 3, and I was just having a blast. And I need someone to play with me. My kids don't want to play the freaking game, and I don't know why. Hey, you guys want to play Contra with Dad? No. Yeah, I don't want to play a game with you, Dad. All right. Play by myself.
So that's something that I think you can expect coming up on the We Are Neon Rabbit channel.
Oh, absolutely.
A decent review of that game and probably some gameplay.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of the gameplay and the videos, excuse me, and having a blast doing that. The Alter Beast, I can't wait to get back into that with you, because that seemed to touch a nerve with our fan base, and there's some things that we got to finish in Altered Beast, like the 3rd level, for example. And I've been practicing. I want you to know I know where the jump button is now.
Good.
So that won't be a problem. And I've also learned the laying on your back and kicking upward is a lot more useful than I originally thought. I thought it was just for weird aesthetic purposes, like he was just stretching. But no, you can do some damage with that shit. So yeah, that I want to play some more. We do some more Vampire Survivors. I'm ready to up that curse.
Yeah,
ready to do that. And I want to play some Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi.
Yeah. So play some Crazy Taxi with you, bro.
Sounds like a plan. All
Yeah,
right.
we got some video game stuff coming up. You guys don't know this yet, but JB and I recently did an entire commentary for The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Not, 40-year-old men, you think Die Hard, Top Gun, Beverly Hills Cop.
No way, dude.
Fucking Princess Bride. Absolutely. Just because of Andre and Mandy Patinkin in particular. Carrie Elways and Robin Wright Penn, they're fine. And, even Vizzini, Wallace Shawn, inconceivable. Fine. But that movie for me is all about Andre, all about Mandy Patinkin.
Absolutely, yeah. So, hey, look forward to that. And, so just come along with us, watch the movie yourself, and watch it as we watch it, essentially. Yeah,
basically giving little tidbits and stories and, I don't know, voices and imitations. I do a lot of that shit during the movie, so if you like that stuff. Oh, what else is going on in the world?
Well, I'm going to continue with the video game things. There's been some controversy behind the scenes. I'm not an expert on this, but I'm going to inform the public anyways. So there's a company out there. It's a game consulting agency, which I don't know what that necessarily means, but it's called Sweet Baby Inc., and it's drawn up all kinds of controversy, mainly because they're one of the companies that's trying to insert the wokeness into all the video games. Which say whatever, whether you like it or you don't. But so people essentially try to do a protest against them. Not an actual on the street protest, but just a boycott, more or less.
Okay.
So somebody made a website that just listed the games that this company, Sweet Baby Inc., was involved with.
Okay.
Essentially, that's my understanding of it is so you could not play that game if you didn't want to because they were involved with it.
Okay, so they were just listing games that they were involved with. Okay.
And then I heard that there was a lawsuit brought up against these people. It turns out that from what I hear, when I see this company's, these are the fascists that we're talking about, man. Just forcing their viewpoint and what they want on everybody and threatening.
So you're saying these guys are getting sued, right?
I don't know if the lawsuit's still going, but that's what they brought the lawsuit up, and that's what got everybody's attention on it.
I'd say the only way that would even remotely fly is if the list that they put on the website was put on there in a way that could possibly damage the company.
Well, that's what it's going to do. But if for instance, if I want to boycott Bud Light and then I find out all the other products that the company that owns Bud Light is involved with, and I boycott them too, because that should be within my right to know who really owns the company. And that's all we're saying is like who worked on this, on these games. I don't think they're doing anything illegal. They're just presenting you with honestly like publicly available information.
Yeah, they're just making it a little more available.
Yeah. So I could see if there was like some defamatory lie, aspect of it, fraud. But
yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. No. Yeah.
And
trying to find a decent example to make a joke out of, but I really can't at the moment. This is ridiculous.
So that's why I point out like Helldivers, and that's the kind of they're not involved in that crap. It's just the game. Come play the game, be in the character, and that's all that there is to it.
That's good.
Because again, people comparing it to like real world political parties and whatnot. That's not the point. I don't think at all.
That's the antithesis of a fucking video game.
Truly, yeah. I don't want to have anything to do with real life, really.
No, when you're playing a video game, it's all fantasy.
It's like power fantasy and everything, and so like the real world politics really has no place in it.
No. You if you choose to go by the politics of the game,
right?
Fine, but yeah, it's a fucking video game.
And I get sick of like just in general, like hearing about toxicity in video games and gaming culture and like the people online, because I've noticed this every time I've ever played online is like there's jerks and there's obnoxious people.
Yeah.
It's like it's part of the world and something that you just have to deal with.
People like to be trolls.
Something that I hate is like people playing music or something over their microphone, and like so many people just leave their mic open, and it's like the other day I heard this kid arguing with his brother about playing the game and mom grounded you and all that. Like that was super annoying. But the fun thing is I could just block him. I can shut him off. And that's what I have. I did that to somebody who was like playing music. I just shut him off, and I didn't have to hear him anymore. So I don't even get the complaint.
So they weren't even talking. They were just playing music.
Yeah.
And why the fuck
was actually it sounded like a movie. They were playing a movie. So this stuff happens all the time.
Why the fuck would you get online to get to a game where you have to communicate with a team? And
I think because they're trying to be obnoxious. These are like the troll people we're talking about and stuff. Like, let them try to be obnoxious. There's ways around it, and like everywhere you go, for all of eternity and of humankind, like you're going to be around people who are obnoxious. People who you disagree with and don't like, you gotta learn how to block them.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's my 2 cents on that.
Feckin' trolls.
Well, I have no intent. I mean, that is a problem in all video games, and this one too. Like people kick you out, and people can sometimes be jerks. They kill you, and all this. Get out of the game. Go start a new one. You'll eventually find people who are just totally cool. Right?
Yeah.
So, and that's been super. The community around this game super cool. My first game, man, like the first guy I played with, I didn't have a mic, and he was talking to me, but I couldn't communicate with him. And you'd be surprised how many times that dude hugged me. Literally, we hug in the game, and like just hug after hug. And
hugs, bro.
So there's a really good element to that. That's the whole world. Like with the good comes the bad, and vice versa. So like there's some really cool people you're gonna meet online too.
Sure. Yeah. You just gotta be careful.
Well, again, when
that's a lot of hugging, man.
Just block them.
That's a lot of hugging, bro. You gotta be careful.
No, it's for fucking democracy.
We hug it out for democracy here, brother. Bring it in.
We love liberty so much. See, we're fighting against the bugs, and there's certain bugs that just like vomit a bile on you. It's like their weapon. And why do they do that? Because they see your freedom, and it makes them disgusted, so they puke.
They have an understanding of freedom.
They do. They hate freedom.
Wait. So the bugs hate freedom. are the bugs under some kind of a totalitarian regime or something?
In the lore, it's like the bugs actually were peaceful at first, but now humans harvest them for this oil that they see.
So it's exactly like Starship Troopers.
And, yeah, and you can see exactly, but you can see republicanism, oil. Oh, you want this war for oil?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
But hey, don't forget that those wars were voted on, and everybody voted for those wars. Okay. So it's the government that wants the oil, anyways. But that is like the element of real life that's thrown in there. It's like, you're really just subjugating this race for this resource.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But so that's why they're fighting back. I forget how we got into that. But they don't really hate freedom, but that's the propaganda.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Well, even the robots don't actually want to like kill all the people or anything. They just want what they want. But the human really in the real story, the humans are like, nah, fuck you, robots. Because in the end, the humans are the bad guys. But yeah, you're the baddie.
I've always been a baddie.
So yeah, that's where I'm gonna be in basically all my free time for the next while. So we gotta get done with this so I can get back to democracy and freedom.
I guess so. Yeah. Well, you've been spending your time on the consoles. I've been spending a lot of time watching movies. It is Oscar season. Well, it was Oscar season. Oscars are here and gone, and Oppenheimer won for Best Picture. So I bit the bullet, sat down, I watched it, and interesting film. Really was.
It was popular when it came out.
Yeah. I wasn't too geeked on seeing it ever. I mean, I knew the story of Oppenheimer. I knew he was the father of the atomic bomb, and I saw the trailer for it, and I wanted to know more about, making it and how he discovered it and all that stuff, and you kind of get that in the movie. I will say that I didn't know that he had he dipped his toes into communism so hard. As a matter of fact, I didn't realize that communism was so rampant in the U.S. at the time. I probably should. It's probably history that I didn't pay attention to.
It's quite prevalent today.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I said that to a friend of mine. He's like, dude, communism is still rampant today. And I'm like, I am living in ignorant bliss. I really, really am. Because I know nothing about that shit. But yeah, the movie itself was great. Cillian Murphy played a really good Oppenheimer. There are boobies in the movie, if you're interested. So there's that.
Excellent.
And that was good. Another movie I saw, which was like on the complete other opposite end of that spectrum, was a movie called Titanic 2. You thought I was going to say Maneater. I will talk about that. But yeah, I saw a movie called Titanic 2. Now, if you know anything about The Asylum, it's a movie company that cranks out low-budget CGI fests that have usually, like, actors from, like, the 70s and 80s who really just need a paycheck for their house payment or whatever, so they agree to star in these movies in roles that are, like, overly dramatic. And Titanic 2 is exactly what it sounds like. It's another Titanic ship that was built, and because of global warming, a giant piece of a glacier fell off into the ocean, creating this giant iceberg. And I don't think I need to go into any more details about the actual story of the film. It plays out exactly as you think a movie called Titanic 2 would.
Okay. So it's actually just a Titanic, but they just had to throw 2 on it?
It looks exactly like the Titanic from the film if you didn't finish it. I mean, the boat is really bad. There's like a love story kind of thrown in there. More like I guess a reuniting of 2 ex-lovers. We're not going to get into it. But yeah, Titanic 2, if you want to fucking laugh, any Asylum movie will work. This one is one of the top-notch Asylum films as far as like their effects and acting. Not bad, but really funny. It ain't no, I can't even think of another one off the top of my head. Like Evil Bong or anything like that.
So is it over the top funny? Is that what you're based
on?
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Did they try to take it seriously to a point? Okay.
Yeah. It's not why so taken seriously, but it's, yeah.
Do you know the conspiracy theory behind the Titanic? I'm going to run through this real quick for the audience.
Do tell.
So when they made the Titanic, they built it along with a sister ship that they called the Olympia.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
So from what I've heard, the conspiracy theory is that the Olympia was like faulty. There's something wrong with it.
Okay.
So, but both the Olympia and the Titanic were covered with like major insurance policies. So they changed the name from the Titanic to the Olympia and changed the Olympia to the Titanic. And then they sent the Olympia out. It sank. They collected all the insurance money for their shitty ship.
Oh,
and
man.
they still had the Titanic, which is now the Olympia.
Oh my God, you greedy, greedy bastards!
Yeah, dude, it would come down to that, like that they sent all those people to their death so that they could still get the insurance money on their ship.
Well, I 100% believe that now.
I don't know what to believe because there's got to be facts behind it that I don't have to present.
Yeah.
But
that's pretty out there, but it could.
I don't put it past people.
No, not at all. No, especially at that time.
That's what comes down to a lot of the conspiracy theories is like, yeah, probably not, but I don't. I see people being that evil. I see the government and corporations being that evil. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was Titanic 2. The other one, as I had mentioned to you earlier, is called Maneater.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another really shitty CGI shark fest movie. Bunch of people go on an island to get away. It's an uncharted, unmanned island. And they get accosted by a man-eating shark. And it's got Trace Atkins in it, who plays a shark hunter whose daughter gets eaten by this particular shark. So he's going to go after this shark.
So is that why they go to the island, is to get that particular shark?
No. These are just a bunch of like college grads who are going with their friend who is supposed to be getting married.
So then they get eaten. So then this other dude's like, I'm going to go find him now?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, a Maneater. Check that. That one's on Hulu, and that one's definitely worth a watch.
So I told you that there was a video game along the same lines called Maneater that came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
And so it's definitely different because you played as the shark there.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it was like a futuristic thing too.
Okay, so not a movie tie-in, but it probably came out around the same time because I know this movie's at least a couple years old.
Cool. Well,
interesting little film. What else?
Sharks
Sharks are awesome. I love sharks. The original Jaws movie. Have you seen that?
yeah, but that's been honestly so long ago. I don't really remember.
Oh, dude,
movie.
I watch Jaws so often. I don't really watch the movie either. I watch the behind-the-scenes documentary of it because I always found that fascinating. You know, that freaking shark never worked. that shark was always malfunctioning.
Yeah.
On set, they were always waiting for that shark.
You know, one thing I did do when I was little is we went to Florida. We went to Universal Studios, and I rode the Jaws ride.
I got an interesting story about that.
Yeah.
Did you like that ride?
Well, I was young. I know I was scared at first.
Where were you sitting?
I don't remember.
Okay. When I went there, I was probably about 12, maybe 13, and I went with my whole family. We went on the Jaws ride, and I remember my dad was sitting on this far end. My mom was over here. I was over here, and my brother was on the other end over here. And the music comes up, and the guy who's playing the boat tour captain, you know, he starts his spiel. As soon as Jaws came up and bit the side of the boat, my brother jumped over me, landed in my mom's lap, and pushed me into the rail to the point where I was like, not falling in, but very close to a mechanical shark. And he forced me to sit on that end for the entire ride. And that's, of course, where Jaws was attacking for most of the goddamn ride.
Okay.
But yeah, I loved Universal Studios. And I don't know if they even have it anymore. Did you go to the Back to the Future ride?
Yeah.
That was amazing. That was so cool. We rode that twice. And I remember the second time we rode it, as we're going through all the time stuff, I remember looking behind me and seeing just like, it was like a gigantic theater style of all these different DeLoreans. It was really cool to see like different tiers and all these different DeLoreans are just all moving in sync. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, I remember that, and like, but that I'm not sure if they still have any of those things.
I think Back to the Future's gone.
Outdated. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, the Kong ride.
Yep.
Another one that scared the crap out of me. Getting my picture taken with Yeah, he's like holding you at the very end. You get your picture taken. He's like right behind you.
What I really remember from the Jaws ride is like at the end, the boat driver like shot him in the face with a shotgun.
Yeah. And then the last time he comes up, like, "Arrgh!" He's all smoking and shit. Yeah, that was cool. We went to Universal right when they still had Universal Studios, but they were just starting the Islands of Adventure. So that's when they started involving the Marvel stuff.
Okay. I know I rode the Hulk ride.
Dude,
and
that
there's
Hulk
a Spider-Man that was very similar to the Back to the Future thing.
The Spider-Man thing was really cool because that was like 3D, and then you did like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride thing. I remember like actually feel like you're going up, and it's just a screen scrolling, but because of the way everything looked, it felt like you were being raised. It was great. But yeah, the Ghostbusters experience.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was awesome. Oh, so many cool things that I don't even think are there anymore. Now I think they have a Harry Potter ride.
Really?
And yeah, there's they tore down the Psycho House.
The Psycho House.
That's been there for it was there for about a century. The actual original Psycho House from the movie.
Oh.
That was always there. You couldn't go up to the house, I remember, but I do have a picture of it when we went there. I remember looking at it and taking a picture because I was like, what is this? Dad was like, take a picture. I'm like, okay. And yeah, they tore that down for a Harry Potter ride. I don't know if I would have done that. But yeah, Universal was fun. I don't know if I'd go there now just because I know it's super expensive and I know the wait is just crazy, and nowadays it's just full of influencers making videos.
Right. And did you hear they launched that like Star Wars? It was like a galaxy like hotel.
That was Disney, wasn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Well,
so that was Disney World then or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that like bombed.
The
part of it bombed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard a whole bunch. It was just end up being low quality. It's like what Disney has been trying to do is like, here, let's slap like something that looks like Star Wars together and then like just sell it to you because they're in the costumes.
Yeah. And because you recognize the name, we'll charge you what we feel we have to.
That's what they're running on, right? Is name recognition and a look.
Yeah, it's certainly not quality anymore, unfortunately. No. Let's see what happens with the new Ray trilogy. I'll see it. Why not? Speaking of movies that are getting a little bit of haze, I'm not going to say hate, but I will say haze. The Crow remake.
Yeah. So we mentioned this a few episodes back.
Mm-hmm. And Bill Skarsgård, they released some photos of him.
Yeah.
And I didn't like them initially. However, I saw the trailer.
Okay.
I want to see it.
Yeah, sure.
I want to see it just based on it's definitely not your Brandon Lee Crow. It's never going to be. It was never going to be. That movie is a time capsule for the 90s, definitely. Just the way it was shot, the music, everything. This one is taking it to a little more of a supernatural level, which I think is a little more in tune with the comic.
Yeah. And what the Crow is.
And I'm hoping we get a good, decent backstory about the Crow, or at least, it's going to be an origin story because we know this is a retelling of the original. So I know that. I can't remember the name of the other guy is in. Oh, Danny Houston. Danny Houston's in there. So that's another big name that's in there. I don't think he plays the bad guy. But yeah, the trailer I saw, I'm looking forward to it. I think he's going to do a pretty good job. As long as don't try to remake the Brandon Lee version. I don't think they're going to try to.
Yeah, I know people were upset about the look, and that could be one thing. But I agree with you to not like remake the movie. Like, let's tell the story again in a different way. And I have no issue with the actor. I mean, I think should be fine.
He looks fine.
Yeah.
Especially in, like I said, if you watch the trailer, you get a good glimpse of what he'll look like in the makeup. I think they've twisted it enough that it fits.
One of the criticisms was that it looked like the Joker.
Yeah, a lot of tattoos. I don't know why tattoos is so. I mean, well, of course, everybody has tattoos everywhere now. You can have them on your face, and it's perfectly
Yeah.
acceptable, which it is. If you want to do that to your face, fine. I don't see the appeal in it, but that's just me.
A
But
lot of
yeah,
employers don't either. But hey, whatever.
yeah, I don't think you get. I can't.
Anyways, I mean,
It's
if it's just
2024.
about the look, I could probably get past that too for this movie,
Mhm.
as long as it's a good movie. It has a good story.
Yeah.
The look's not. I mean, he'll still look scary. He'll still probably
Yeah.
still looks the part.
Yeah, and like I said, the trailer looked gritty. It was violent, and gory as hell. That's for sure. For a trailer, it is. I mean,
yeah.
they don't censor fucking trailers anymore.
Yeah.
They just don't. Remember, they used to have a green band and then you had a red band trailer.
Uh-huh.
Now it's just like the trailer starts now, and it's like, well, which one am I watching? Oh shit, that guy just got shot with a shotgun in his head.
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
Hey, so a recap on another new property that we talked about in a past episode is the X-Men 97.
Mm-hmm.
It's still due, I think, to come out on Disney.
Mhm.
But just a little bit behind the scenes, I'm just pulling it out of my memory, so I don't remember if he was like a director or a producer, but one of them got arrested for something. He got like fired.
Oh my
Got
god.
fired and arrested, so or something like that. But yeah, there's a little bit of drama going behind the scenes of that show as well. And like, the more I keep on waiting, the less and less excited about it I get. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't heard any new news or development about the show itself.
That comes out soon, doesn't it?
I'm hoping so.
Is it
and
like next week or something?
I don't know if it's even worth checking out, but
Oh, don't do that. Come on.
yeah, we'll see. Maybe
I live vicariously through my X-Men experience through you.
uh-huh.
You know, I'm not a huge fan, but I get excited when you get excited about X-Men shit. And I
Well.
know this is a long time coming, and this is what we need right now.
Yeah, but some of those things, it's like it was good as it was. Maybe you should just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
all kinds of different ways to do X-Men, so maybe they could have just done that. But there was some cool. Man, I heard the story behind the original one too. Like, they didn't want to make that at first. Like making X-Men was like a gamble for the studios. And there
Really?
was some the producer lady who wanted to push it because it was the original idea was some woman. Just,
Mhm.
cool. And they were like, your ass is on the chopping block basically for this one. Like, they'll let you do it, but if it doesn't work, you're gonna pay the consequences. And I just thought that was like she put so much of herself into that original thing. It took such a risk. Like, yeah, they almost right there. I hope that lady's like, yeah, they better not screw up what I did. Like, she had to fight for it.
Right. Yeah, that's a sacrifice.
Yeah, and
That's
it
huge.
worked. It worked, and you won. And honestly, you made a show that people remember 20 years later.
Yeah. And it has such a huge fan base that you're making it like the original animation. And
You're right, though. They're
to a
trying to
point.
copy it as best as they can.
Yeah, I keep watching the trailer, and it's definitely modernized. There's a little less pencil work, it seems. Well, obviously, it's probably all digital, but I'm still gonna watch it. Still looking forward to it. I hope it's good. I think it'll be good. I'm not even sure. It's supposed to be like a limited run series. I heard like a 10-episode thing. So I'm not even sure what the story is going to be about.
Yeah.
The trailer's been kind of vague on what the whole plot is, but yeah, I'm gonna check it out. There's let's see. Next week we got Frozen Empire.
Next week.
I'm still watching the trailers for that. I'm still geeked about that. They've got a lot of people are like they're complaining about the Slimer popcorn buckets that they're selling at some of the theaters. They don't look anything like they're being advertised, so people are complaining about that. It's like, you guys, there's a paper bucket option. You don't have to spend the money to buy a plastic Slimer. I know it's probably a collector thing.
Yeah.
But, I mean, obviously, if you don't want it, then don't buy it. It's funny as hell. All these different popcorn buckets. Like have you seen the Dune 2 popcorn bucket?
I haven't, but I heard that movie was... I know they're making a video game that's really good, and that movie was supposedly really good, too. Yeah, I think the Neebs guys watched it and reviewed it, and they really liked it.
I watched the OG Dune. I watched a long time ago when I was a kid. Then I watched the newer one, the newest. No, not Dune 2, but the new Dune. I want to say it was like a year, maybe 2 years ago. And it is exactly what I expected in a Dune movie. It was pretty good. It was a lot of visuals, which Dune is.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say I'm geeked about seeing the second one. I'm kind of neither here nor there on seeing it. I probably will just to finish the story, but I'm not going to like actively seek it out or buy it or anything.
Yeah.
When it comes out, I probably like watch it on Max or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's a movie that will do well on its own too. Like you'll probably see it be successful at the theaters. But we are going to see Frozen Empire.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have to. Honestly, we should just go see it the day it comes out, whatever day that is.
Mm,
Do you know what
Friday?
what the rating is?
I think it's PG-13.
PG-13. Excellent.
Yeah.
Just like it should be, really.
Yeah, you can't have an R-rated Ghostbusters movie. You crazy? What are you going to do with an R-rated Ghostbusters movie? They can only be so scary.
Right, and
Once
dirty.
yeah. Once you get to that point, it's like it's not a Ghostbusters movie anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
So yeah, please join us for that because we're gonna take you on the adventure with us a little bit.
Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely make a video out of it.
Yeah, give you a quick review once we leave the theater. There,
Mhm.
we obviously can't show you any of the movie.
Obviously, and I'm not bootlegging it. I'm not. Not
yeah.
bringing camera equipment in there at all.
Comprehensive review from two normal dudes on whether the movie's worth your time or not. So.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so we'll be looking forward to that. So I think that's going to do it for us here at the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah. Hey, thank you for watching.
Yes.
Please remember to like and subscribe. If you are not subscribed, leave us a comment. We try to get back to your guys' comments.
Absolutely.
We'd like to engage with the audience that we do have. And again, if you guys are on the PlayStation Network, just send me a message. If you're playing some Helldivers, and we'll fight for some freedom and democracy, guys.
Freedom and democracy.
So, hey, thanks for joining us again. You guys have a good week. Peace.
See ya.